Hi, this is Fred Barstein with 401k TV. We're starting a new program, a weekly blog on subjects that we think will be interesting to defined contribution plan sponsors and advisors like you. And today we are going to talk about consolidation among 401k record keepers, why it's happening, what we expect in the future, and what you can do to prepare for this. The reason that we're seeing record keeper consolidation, and we have a list on our resource center on 401k TV of the national record keepers, as well as a list of all the transactions that have occurred since 1999 for all types of providers, is because we have on the one hand fee compression. Over the last 10 years, we've seen fees for record keeping go down by 50%. On the other hand, we have seen an increase in the amount of resources and money that record keepers have to invest. It's a $50 to $100 million proposition just to maintain systems, and if you upgrade the systems or do anything significant, it's at least $250 million, and that happens every 3 to 5 years. So there's a lot of money, highly skilled people that are involved in running and distributing and servicing plans on there, and it takes a lot of domain expertise, and you got to make sure you have placement. In other words, advisors and consultants in this market are not going to be recommending record keepers that are new to this market. So it takes a lot. It's very much like the airline industry, and we're probably about 5 years behind. 5 years ago, airlines were at about a 50% capacity. They were losing money. There were 9 or 10 of the national firms, and we're now down to 3 national airlines plus Southwest and JetBlue and a couple of regionals, and they're at about 80% capacity, and profits are very, very good. So that's what we think is going to happen with 401k record keeping. We think that in this mid-market, which is $300 to $250 million in assets, that market segment will see 9 record keepers, not including a record keeper who's associated with a bank, a large bank, there are 2 of them now, or payroll companies, or those micro market outsourcers. What's going to define whether a record keeper is going to be one of those 9 is certainly the amount of assets and participants, minimum 1 million participants and closer to 3 million. You want to have a minimum of 50 million in 401k or defined contribution assets, probably closer or more than 100 billion in assets. But you really need a little bit more. Is there commitment on behalf of the corporate entity? Is this a strategic initiative for them? Are they talking about it to Wall Street analysts? That's a really important part. But for plan sponsors, the best thing they can do is work with a very experienced, qualified advisor or consultant who studies this market for a living. It's up to them to really, through site visits, through talking with the senior management, as well as what they hear from the wholesalers or the local salespeople about the record keeper and their plans, and are they making investments, and do they seem to be selling well. A big part for advisors is to determine are the good wholesalers or salespeople moving away from a particular record keeper or to a record keeper, because they are like the giraffes of the 401k business. They have a better view, they're easily spooked, and if they see things not going well, they're likely to move. So it's very important for you. You don't want to be stranded like I was about 20 years ago in Florida. I flew down to Miami and on Eastern Airlines, and when I got ready to come home, Eastern Airlines was no longer in business and I was stranded. So you don't want to be stranded with a record keeper who decides to exit this market or sell their business and try to figure out how are you going going to service your plan and your participants. So thanks for watching this week's version of 401k TV blog, and we will see you next week.